Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers, and this is Annie 245, and this is Module 7 course assignment. You're going to create a walking robot animation, just legs and a body. It's called the Ultimate Walker, and I've got a scene file all set up for you, so go ahead and download the zip file, and make sure you unzip it and place that file on your hard drive. Maybe rename it your first name, and then you can just keep the rest of it the way it is. And what we're going to do now is go into Maya, and you want to go ahead and go to File, Set Project. So make sure you set your project up. If it's on your hard drive, you have to go to My Computer and go to find your hard drive, and then from there you can go and scroll down and try to find the file. Annie 245 Module 7 Start File. Go ahead and set that and go to File, Open, and click on the Ultimate Walker 2024.ma. You will have to save your scenes in Maya ASCII. It won't save it as an MB file, so make sure you remember that. Click Open. You'll get this little thing that says File, Student Version, blah, blah, blah. Click on Continue. Now this video is about getting you comfortable with the rig. All right, so I'll just show you really quick how the controllers work. All right, this main controller allows you to move the bot up and down, and side to side, back and forth, and it will even let you rotate. And the only thing you can't scale. Okay, so that's your main controller. You cannot scale the character up. That's the only problem. You can't do that. So, and we're not worried about doing that. We're just going to have this is going to be. We're going to create a walk cycle. You're going to be learning mechanics, the walk cycle mechanics. So we're not too worried about moving him forward, back, or anything like that, or even scaling it. Well, we're going to go ahead and show you what we have. Right now we have our object that we can turn off and on. I don't have any idea why you'd want to do that. But that came with the rig. I put the ground in a layer so you can turn it off and on. And the next thing we need to do is we need to be able to take these controllers out when we want to do our play blast. So let's go ahead and shift select all these controllers. I'm going to turn off the ground planes so we can't select it. I'm going to put it on reference. Go ahead and do this again. Hold down the shift key and select all your controllers. And go ahead and create a new layer, and that should put them all in a new layer, and just call that controllers. Click save, and that way you can turn off the controllers on and off when you are play blasting. Okay, so we'll keep them on for now. This video is basically just to kind of get you used to the rig. You'll have to do a little playing around, maybe pose them a little bit, and then you can start with the walk animation. All right, so we'll show you the controllers. This is the squash and stretch controller. And they have limitations here, and that's a good thing. So you can squash and stretch with that. This is your controller of your hip. Now you're not going to see anything until I move that down. So the legs have IK controllers. Again, this is a different rig than what you're used to. This is even more complex, and I'll show you why. It's mainly in the legs. So this is IK system. So I'm going to move that down. That moves the squash and stretch. And when I move the legs down, it moves those joints all together, which is really cool. Okay. And it also has a hip switch. So if I rotate it, it will allow you to move those legs back and forth. Kind of make them do a little dance. Alright, so with that, you got that control. We've got our leg controls. They're not, the foot controls really don't do anything but allow you to switch. Okay, like an IK switch. So the IK-FK switch is called a blend. So when you select it, you can't do anything with it. So this is just a marker. That can be confusing for some of us because you're thinking, well, if that looks like a foot controller, so I should be able to do anything with that. And normally I would have done that. I probably would have reversed this. I probably would have put this as the FK switch and this would be the controller or whatever. But the controller here is just used to turn that off and on. So if you want to have forward kinematics, you type in 0, and that allows you to select these controllers, and you can do this one by one. Now you're probably asking yourself, why in the world would you want to do that? A lot of people, some people, I wouldn't say a lot, some people like to animate forward kinematics one joint at a time. I don't necessarily like to do that, so I like to have that on, but I just wanted to show that to you. So I'm going to turn that off and just type it. So 1 is on and 0 is off. Alright, with that said, again, you really can't move this. I'm hitting the WER, so they got that locked. It's just for that one thing that you can do. Now you can use this. This will move your foot. Again, this will control your actual foot. And if I move it up and move it forward, you can see that this is working really good. All right, let me show you the knee controllers. So if I move this down, and you can take the knee controllers and move them back and forth, that will move and situate your leg. So if you want to move your leg out like that, you probably want to move your knee out as well, depending on this situation. Okay. Let's Control Z back, get that back where it was. And here's an interesting controller. This one has all of the attribute controls on it. And let me show you all the cool things you can do for that. So it's in the channel editor. So you're gonna go to foot roll. You can highlight it and hold down your middle mouse button and move it back and forth. And this allows your leg to go forward and lift your foot up. This is called a reverse foot setup. Okay, this allows you to rotate a heel ball situation. So heel that way, ball that way. And then you got your foot brake, okay? And then you've got your toe roll, which you would use all the time, okay? You got your leg twist. Twist your leg up on the top. You got your heel twist, which is really nice. You got your ball twist, twist from the ball of your foot. And you got your toe twist. So you got some really cool rigging controllers here. Really cool attributes. So that's basically it. You're just going to have to play around with it a little bit. So I'm going to move that out a little bit. And when you do that, you can mess around with the foot roll like that. And when you click on that, you can move it down. So this is how you're going to control your foot when you're walking. And it's just going to take you some time to get used to it. And I think it really messes with people when this really doesn't do anything except for changing from IK to FK. We're not going to be moving the character forward, but it might be a really good idea. The first thing I do when I start animating my character is a couple things, making sure I set everything up properly, but I usually put these up a little bit farther. Okay, this in case you do an extreme pose, not that you're going to, but I usually put them farther ahead. Because if I don't and my character goes through that, you can see how it twists back. Okay, so it's always better to put those farther ahead, just in case. All right. So with that said, I think that's all I wanted to show you. Again, I think you need to pose the character a little bit, just kind of get used to it and how things work. We do need to create a quick selection set. So I'll show you how to do that. That way you can do a quick select easily. And you already know how to do the shelf one. I'll show you that one as well. But you really need to get used to the rig, so just kind of move things around and get comfortable with it. I keep hitting the Windows key. That drives me crazy. There we go. And that's the rotate of the hips. All right. So just play around with it a little bit, practice a little bit. Right, if you mess up with the rig and get things out of whack, you can always select it and you can zero everything out by hitting 0. Just like this. Let's say I got this messed up and everything's crazy. You can just zero everything out. And the nice thing is, if you got a toe roll and something else, a leg twist going on and some foot roll happening and everything's getting crazy, then you can just type in 0 for everything and hit enter, and everything goes back the way it was. So it's a good rig. The only thing I wish it would do is scale the character, but that's okay. All right, I think that's it. I think that's all I was going to do, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and good luck with your walk cycle, and I look forward to seeing your work in class. Have a good weekend.